Hey, y'all. Lindsay here, and Fearless Coaching. Have you found your flow? So, I was walking on the beach earlier this week, and there was this huge bait ball of fish, and they were all in a swarm. It was amazing to watch them. I actually posted a video of it on my Instagram account, find_fearless. Check it out if you can, because it's really, really cool and powerful. But basically, as I watched these fish, I thought, wow, they're really just in this flow. They're aware of what's going on around them. They're self aware in a way and constantly flowing in and out with the other fish, flowing with the water, the seas of the ocean. And it got me thinking about flow in my own life. Am I in the flow, or do I constantly swim against the current, ultimately exhausting myself to the point of no return? And so that's why I wanted to post about flow this week, because I think that we all have our own unique individual flow. And it's a balance of action, taking action, control, ambition, and then allowance, allowing things to just happen, letting go, being in the moment, relaxing, having fun, being in the flow. So when we combine those two together, I call it a balance point. It's a point in between that spectrum of control and ambition and constant continual action in just allowing, on the opposite side of the spectrum, allowing things to just happen naturally in their own right timing, being in the flow. So, where is our balance point, which is unique to each individual on that spectrum? Because I don't know if any of you can relate, but oftentimes when we try to force something to happen in life, when we try to control it, when we go after it against all odds, potentially we can end up burning ourselves out, exhausting ourselves. Sometimes it even develops into physical illness and sickness. Also, the harder we push for something, sometimes the further away it gets. This may be a relationship or a job. It's like we're forcibly trying to make something happen within our own timeline, our own expectations. But sometimes there's something larger at play. There's a bigger timeline at play. And so this is the moment where knowing oneself and one's balance point and one's tendencies to kind of push and burn oneself out, it's a great opportunity to sit back, relax, allow, and let things flow. Be in the flow of the natural timeline of things. Let go. Stop trying so hard to make something happen and just allow it to come to you. So I think life is ultimately about this amazing balance between the two. And of course, again, it's unique to each individual. And so that is one of, not the purpose of life, but one of the beauties of life is that we're learning through experience about this wisdom of knowing oneself, knowing one's flow, knowing one's balance point through our experience and hindsight and things that have happened to us throughout our lifetime, and knowing that as we grow wiser about ourselves and our own processes and who we are and know ourselves on a deeper level, then we know when to step back and be in the flow. We know when to push harder and go and move ahead and move forward. So it's this natural balance, and we know when to go and when to flow. So the other thing about this is just, you know, really, really just being in your own process and knowing oneself. And through this process of knowing oneself, it's self awareness. How do we learn about ourselves? Through intentional self development and growth, becoming aware of our tendencies, our programming, what we've done in the past that hasn't worked and what has worked, carrying that with us to really know ourselves on this depth, this deep level, so we can find our balance point, so we can be in our flow, and continuously kind of altering and tweaking our flow dependent upon where we're at in our lives. But I think ultimately, the more we own our balance point, the more we own our flow, the more we know ourselves on a deeper level, the easier and better life gets because we know when to control, we know when to push, we know when to move forward at all cost, and we know when to step back, to relax, to allow things to come to us, to allow everything to come together as it should. All right, so I'm curious, have you found your flow? Do you know what your own unique flow is? And if so, maybe you found, or maybe you've only found parts of it and you're still piecing it all together. But I encourage you, your act of courage for this week is to really think about your flow. What does flow look like for you? Are you too far on one end or the other of the spectrum? Where is your balance point? What can you do to learn and know yourself, learn more about yourself, know yourself better? So in the future, you're really in that unique flow that is just absolutely beautiful for you. All right, you all, sending you so much love.